background, shooting up shit, doing all of that because of my background, where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? And my upbringing. My daddy got killed when I was 1. My mother was on dope. And so I'm loyal to my friends. So I was doing music to kind of stay out of trouble, but it wasn't helping. And the guy, he was supposed to do a mixtape cover for us. I took too long. I can't wait. Right? And so the guy ended up giving me the program. I stayed up 24 hours and I ain't been to since.
So, welcome to the How Podcast with the Business Bitch. So let me just tell y'all a little bit of why I call myself the Business Bitch, guys. So during the pandemic, the world was going crazy. I decided to take a negative term and turn it to a positive. So for me, the term bitch stands for beautiful, intelligent, talented, charming, humble woman. African American women, we all have been called that, right? So I now embrace that, and yeah, I'm that bitch. No, seriously. So thank you so much.
Now, before we get started, I just want to commend you, right, for even doing this, for taking that initiative, for standing up, for being a voice for women. That takes a lot of courage, especially when you're a mother, you're a wife, you're an entrepreneur, you're doing all this stuff. That's big. So just to have this platform and say, I'm going to create something for women, for males, for everybody to get on the platform and be seen, I want to commend you for that, because that's big and that's hard.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for you to even have to get your flight canceled, go to North Carolina, drive here, like that's big. I want to commend you on that before we even get started. It ain't about me.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, and I'm going to reciprocate that energy because at the end of the day, where I come from, I'm from Philadelphia, right? And just taking off from a woman perspective, when we talk about African American men, I don't see a lot of striving, empowering African American men like yourself. So I appreciate you, one, doing what you're doing because you're empowering many people, right? And as well as myself. My husband's here, you're empowering him. Actually, I learned about you through my husband, so I thank you for doing what you do.
I appreciate you, King.
Yes. So you are the content king.
The king of content, yep.
Trademarked.
That's him.
Because it's levels.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We ain't gonna play. We don't spend too much money. We had to.
Period. Yeah. So let's get into it. What makes you the content king?
I've been doing content since 13, full time. Like I made my first dollar at 13 doing graphics, and I have not stopped. Middle school, I was doing all the graphics for the middle school. High school, I was doing all the graphics for the high school. I was at Skills USA. I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta. Like, I'm a real content person, but I really love this, right? So I ain't one of the ones that just started in a pandemic and all. I've been doing this my whole life. And you can tell when I talk because I love it.
Yes.
I love it. And I love to see our businesses go to the next level because if you think about it, we don't got businesses that have been like since 1870. But the reason why is because the content, the branding, the marketing, the vision. And so I was like, well, let me get in a position where I can help our businesses look like Fortune 500 businesses so we can last long and we can create generational wealth.
Yes. That part right there.
Talk heavy, Duntel. Talk heavy, Duntel.
Listen, you just said you want our businesses to look like Fortune 500 businesses. So let's elaborate on that. So what does that look like for you?
That looks like we ain't doing everything ourselves. We don't look homemade. We understand delegation. We understand investing. We understand making it look good so it can last long. That's what that looked like. Because we too busy seeing all of these other people and their companies and don't think that ours can look like that. But it can if we invest a little bit. And we're not scared and we see the bigger picture. I don't care if some people are like, man, I just got started and I got to do everything myself. I did my website, my logo, that shit look like it.
Come on, Duntel. Come on.
So just making sure that our brands look good so it can last forever.
Yes. So like you said, you've been doing it since 13. And now to date, you have 6-figure dates. Right? So if you could just illuminate the typical African American weakness, business owner weakness, what would you say in 3 words?
I said in 1 word. Content. Content.
So,
because if we don't see you, we don't know you. Right. So if you ain't spending enough money or you ain't talking to the person who your services or your product is for, then you ain't talking to nobody. Sometimes we be just trying to talk to everybody like, man, I got to get every dollar, and then we burn out. But if you get your content right and if your content impact the person who the content is for, you will stay in business forever because they will always raise their hand and come to you and you will not chase them.
Come on.
Absolutely. So can we talk about what an avatar is?
I don't talk about avatars. I think that's an alien in a space thing. I call them perfect clients. I'm not calling them no aliens. Because if it's your perfect client, if you know everything about that person, and I'm not talking about demographics, I'm talking about everything.
Yeah.
Like you go deeper, then you get to talk to them, and you talk to them and your content on another level that nobody else is talking to them on. See, and it's a thing called blue ocean and red ocean. Most people are saying the same thing in their content as their competitors, so they don't stand out. So I teach them, go create a list of 100 problems, and you don't say nothing about the top 10. You go to 21 to 100, and you start resonating with your perfect client on another level that nobody heard you, and you resonate.
Fire.
And when you resonate, guess what happens? They raise their hand, and you don't chase them.
Come on.
Okay.
Talk heavy, Dontel.
I'm
Facts.
just being honest.
Who's your perfect client? Let's
That's
get it.
deep.
Let's get it.
And I can't get that away.
Let's get it.
That's a formula. I can't get
Listen,
that.
all right. You
Yeah.
saying, listen, we empower the people. We educate the people.
But
You
I
saying
can't-
1 through 100.
I said blue ocean and red ocean. If I give you mine, it's gonna turn to a red ocean. And I'll be a blue ocean.
All right. Let's do this. Let's just do this. Just give me, because I feel where you're coming from, right? I feel where you're coming from. I feel like my avatar, it gets a D. It don't
What
get
is
to
that?
100. I'm sorry, you're right. My perfect client.
Yeah.
Okay? My perfect
And your
client.
perfect client is not gonna give you a headache. Cause you ain't gonna be, it ain't in it for the money. You know them, you're gonna make a transformation. So that's why they're your perfect client. Cause you just taking clients right now just to get money. And guess what? You got headaches. You're like, oh, I don't even want to deal with that person no more. But your perfect client, oh, you know everything about it. So when you call them out, they stand up. And you can deal with them because they ain't gonna burn you out.
All right, so wait, I just want to challenge you. I'm gonna just.
You can challenge, but
no, it's not even a challenge. No, because I'm learning. No, let me correct myself. I'm not challenging you. I'm gonna give you my perspective, right? Because for me, my avatar is, we say, a real business person, solve problems, right? Okay. So when you say identify 100 problems, right? Is that not a problem?
Say your perfect client wants. What does they do? What do they do?
She don't want to give you her nigga. You say
No.
one now, just playing.
I'm not going to tell me.
No, please, let's do it.
Let's hear it.
My perfect client is has a 9 to 5, right? Striving, okay? I would say a single mom, right? That's been through some domestic issues, child support, the whole 9. And I'm identifying problems, right? Because I'm resonating with who I was and what ignited my flame.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So when I strive and I continue to grow, I didn't give anyone problems, but at the end of the day, there's problems exist. So when you say, okay, they're not going to give you problems, I need you just to elaborate on that a little bit.
See, because right now what happens is when we don't know our perfect client, we take anybody. And when we take anybody, we take them off of monetary reasons and not off of growth reasons.
Woo.
Think about it, because most times when people get their clients, they get them because they need to pay some damn bills, so they take whatever comes up.
For sure.
They're not telling people no.
Right.
You got to do an application and go through to come to us, and we will deny you if you don't fit.
Yes.
Right.
So, but that's because we're not taking everybody.
Okay.
So you got to get to the point where your person raised their hand, and we ain't doing it for the money. We're doing it because we can really make the transformation.
Woo.
That's what I'm saying. It gets deeper. But you did a good job because your avatar, in your words, your avatar wasn't basic. I tell people to have a subcategory, or have a category, a subcategory, then a subcategory for that, and a subcategory for that, and a subcategory for that, because that gets you closer to goal.
Okay.
Come on, niche it down.
First and foremost, let's talk about your program.
Yeah.
Because people, I need to know about this sub. So how do we find you?
Yeah.
How do we find you? Let's get to that.
You can literally Instagram, and you're going to have to fill out an application. You can go to my DMs, my link in my bio, and you can put in work with the king. And literally, you got to fill out an application. If you don't meet the criteria, you will be denied right there, and you will know you denied.
How many criteria do you have? Approximately.
It's a lot. It's easy, though, but if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Yeah.
What that look like? Come on. What do it like?
I mean, it's we know our person, and we know where we at, and we know what we're not taking. Right? And so it's some questions. You just ask the questions, and then if you get accepted, you'll get on a call with one of my team members, and if my team members okay you, then I'll get on a call, because I got to talk to every single client before they become a client, because I got to see if we can work with you or not.
Woo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's bigger than money.
love it.
Money can't pay for this.
I know that.
Especially when you're spending a lot of time with these people.
It's energy.
Money can't pay for this.
but he can't pay for this.
Yes.
I love it. That's
I'm here
the
for
name
it.
of your episode. So, okay.
They need to go on a shirt. Money can't pay for this.
Absolutely. I got so many questions.
I got so many answers.
Woo!
All right. I love it. I'm still waiting. I need at least two. Just give me two of the problems.
What, for my avatar? For
Yeah.
I mean, they just content in general, right? So a lot of my people that I talk to, they scared to get in front of this camera. They allow their self-image to hurt them from talking to the world and telling their story. And so we go deeper, and then we go into the subconscious, and then we rebuild that, and then when we rebuild that, we rebuild them. And when we rebuild them, now they get in front of this camera right here, and they talk to the world. And when they talk to the world, they talk from here. See, all of my people, when I teach, they talk from their heart. See, we ain't talking logic. See, when you talking logic, you trying to sell them, and now they got to think about it. But when you talking from here, it's a connection. It's heart to heart. See, that's why I tell you go deeper. See, that first 10, everybody talking. But when you get to 21 and under, you get to talking from your heart. And now you resonate with that perfect client different, and so they start standing up. See, it's deeper.
Absolutely. And honestly, the content king, that name is dope, but that's just the surface. Because that's at the end of the day, no, seriously, at the end of the day, that's what people resonate with. But you talking about you doing content from an eternal. It's the eternal that's the work first.
Once you become happy internal, you can become happy outternal.
Yes.
Once they align, is when you hit your dream. But until then, you will never hit your dreams, no matter how happy you fake it.
I can resonate with that for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can resonate with that for sure. So when you was 13, right, what did that content creation look like for you?
Oh man, it saved me. It saved me. Like I was an artist, and I was wild though. You know what I'm saying? I was running around shooting up shit, doing all of that because of my background, where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? And my upbringing. My daddy got killed when I was 1. My mother was on dope, and so I'm loyal to my friends. So I was doing music to kind of stay out of trouble, but it wasn't helping. And the guy, he was supposed to do a mixtape cover for us. He took too long. I can't wait on him. Right? And so the guy ended up giving me the program. I stayed up 24 hours and I ain't been asleep since.
Yes.
I'm just saying, it saved me. Like, it saved me. Like, it really saved me.
So you kind of started off as ghosts.
Saved
Started
me.
off as ghosts.
Yeah, saved
That's
me.
what's up.
Saved me.
That's what's up. So what does the next 5 years look like for you?
Man, I'm about to help thousands of business owners.
Yeah.
On another level that y'all ain't never seen before. Because I've been doing this for over a decade, but I was quiet. I was behind the scenes and helping all the brands and the businesses. I wasn't talking. And then I started helping people get to 7 figures and 8 figures, and they start catching amnesia. And then I was like, hold up. They ain't built like me. So I'm going to get out here so I can really serve the world and change the world, impact it. Unlike they did. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. I started coming out talking more, and I ain't coming here to play.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you came out?
Man, I got super focused last July 28th of last year is when I got focused because I had too many companies.
What ignited that moment?
Man, I had too many companies. I had a real estate brokerage, a real estate investment company, a car dealership, a MLO company, an app development. I had too many businesses. And I realized I couldn't give everything my attention. And I said, my love is content. Everything is content. I'm not about to play with it. And so July 28th of last year, I said, I ain't about to play with it. And I put all my other businesses on ice, which a lot of entrepreneurs don't know how to do. If you get focused and you focus on one thing for 12 months, your whole life will change.
Yes.
But you got to be willing to sacrifice and put it on hold. Because they say, oh, we need 7 streams of income. They lie. See, you just need 7 streams of income in that one stream, that one pond, that one river.
Yes.
Right? See, it's right inside of there. See, when we talk about content, content comes with a lot of different things. See, I don't have to leave out of my world to get my 7 streams. It's still inside of this world.
Yes.
I was going to ask you, that was the next question. How many facets would you say consist of content? Because just on the surface, people that don't know, that's not on your level, right? They just say content is what you see on the camera, you know, Instagram Live.
Content is just a vehicle, right? And I teach people this. Content is a vehicle. But the vehicle can be video, photos, graphics, audio, emails, all of that. And inside of that vehicle is a thing called message. It's what it is that you're talking about. But that vehicle must go somewhere. And so on top of that mountain, where we headed to is, say, PC, which is a perfect client. So, but how do you get that vehicle from where it's at to where it's got to get? Well, marketing, advertisement. But inside of that vehicle, how do we get it to move? It's called gas, right? But those are sales. See, without sales, you can't move nothing. And so you got to make your content, that vehicle, move to that perfect client so you can have the gas to keep going.
Period. That's amazing.
And it's a car beacon if y'all don't hear it.
And the natural part that wasn't playing.
Nah,
Right.
It's all in alignment. It's all in alignment with the content king. But honestly, that's an understatement. I feel like your name is an understatement.
it's simple.
I know, but it's
It's done on purpose, right? The king of content, you know what it is without me even telling you what it is. I don't have to tell you what I do. As soon as I say that, you know what it is. Now you want to know more. See, we got to make sure we understand. Whenever we brand ourselves, we got to make it simple so the world can understand it. See, if you got yourself to say, super guy about all the, man, I don't know what you talking about.
Well, why not the psychology of content?
It's inside there. See, I teach the psychology, I teach the science, I teach everything inside of it. But saying the psychology inside, that's too sophisticated. We ain't trying to do PhD.
But you got a specific, eclectic,
Keep it
perfect
going,
client.
I know.
I was about to say avatar,
Yeah,
but perfect
Yeah,
client.
but they know what it is once they come to us. They know the word content. They don't know what psychology means. They just know content. As long as they got that simple word, they know what it's about. And they don't even know what content is. They just hear people telling them they need to put it out. See, and I show them how to put it out.
There you go. I'm not challenging you. I just want to hear your
I know.
explanation.
By the way, your show, I'm on it, and I'm ready.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. So you could tell your 10-year younger self 2 things. What would you say?
Patience. This should take time. Like this ain't happening overnight, and I tell people all the time, just allow yourself time to grow. Allow yourself time to make mistakes. Don't be a perfectionist, be a high achiever. Allow yourself the ability to make mistakes. You're human. I think that was the biggest thing I would have told myself, because you know, when you're young, you're like, man, I gotta get here now, gotta get here now. Enjoy life. At every accomplishment, clap it up for yourself, because if you don't, nobody else will. You know what I'm saying? And patience. I think patience. See, because what happens is we be looking at the people that's like 60 and 70 and they on top of the world, and we be still out to we like, man, I gotta get there, but they had our whole lifetime to get there. See, when they got to their 30s, they didn't have it together. We see them in their 60s and we're like, man, we want that now. No, allow yourself time to grow and make mistakes, and stop looking at somebody else's race and look at your own race, because as long as you make it past the finish line, you made it past the finish line. It don't matter what your damn time was.
Do you have any weaknesses?
We all do, we human.
What would you say your biggest weaknesses?
I'm not trying to help everybody. Even my family call me 2 p.m. Man, I need 5,000 for my bills. I'm like, okay. And instead of telling them no, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I can give when I should say no, because if I say no, it'll make them work harder, right? And it allowed me to not think about it, because I'm like, you wasting it, and I worked hard for it. Because you don't value it like I do. You don't use it as a tool like I do. You using it to pay off something that you don't need to pay off next month. You know, and I'm just human. Like, we all make mistakes. We all got pros and cons. Ain't nobody perfect.
Right.
But I'm lying.
So we are here for the Invest Fest weekend. What's your biggest, I guess, what would be your ultimate goal that you're trying to achieve this weekend?
I'm just doing what I do every day. Ain't no goal for this.
Ain't no goal?
No, I'm just doing it every day. That shit just another event.
Okay. So you can be vending, what's your booth number?
607. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you, I wouldn't even think about it. Like, man, they ain't put me on the stage, so I gotta be in the building. So here go to 2,000, 1,500, 2,000, whatever it was. Here go it, put me in the room just to be in the room. I didn't even deck out my booth or nothing. I put up some little retractors. Hey, I'm here in the room. That's all that matters.
Come on now.
You there. That's it. Well, I love it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, guys, like I said, I'm ready for you to beat my content. I'm ready to dig down to the psychology of the business bitch.
Yeah, that's easy. We already started, right?
Absolutely.
So what I want to do, I love to do something special, right? I do a teaching that I do every month, and it's called Create Better Content Challenge, and I want to offer it to your guests, right?
Yeah.
And literally, it'll be a link below, and it literally going to teach you how to create content on an impactful level. It's called Impactful Content. I own that trademark too. And we're doing content unlike you ever seen or heard before. Just so you can impact the world. Because if you learn how to impact the world, everything is different, and you become different.
Right.
See, it's bigger than content. It's you growing.
Yeah.
And so I want to offer it to you guys. So we'll have a link below. and literally they can learn how to create content from their house, like they can be at home.
Absolutely. And there's no other way but to do it with the content king.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
All right, click the link in the bio, y'all. Let's go.